Good morning and a pleasant welcome to LNTV News Live, 30 minutes production of the television department here at the Liberia Broadcasting System, and I'm Amanda Yassi Saleh anchoring the March 5th, 2019 edition of the program. And these are the top stories we are following. Monrovia City Court assigns a former bank governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor Charles Sirleaf, and Director of Banking Double Hagba to jail in connection with the alleged printing of excess Liberian dollars. Big boost for the Liberian government as bilateral talks with Israeli officials use a lot of goodies in agriculture, health, and other sectors as President Weah and delegation returned from Israel. Do not politicize or make it religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabini Jani, says a special envoy and advisor to President Weah, Dr. Larry Brooklyn. And away from home, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. Let's take a short break to be right back. Welcome back to the program. Former Central Bank Governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor for Operations Charles Sirleaf, and Double Hagba, Director of Banking, have been sent to Monrovia Central Prison awaiting court trial. Former Governor Weeks and the 2 CBL officials and 2 others who are still at large were charged by the Monrovia City Court for economic sabotage, misuse of public funds, criminal conspiracy, and criminal facilitation, among others. The 2 CBL officials were still on the run are Joseph Dennis and Richard Walker. The Liberian National Police last weekend began an operation arresting individuals deemed culpable in the illegal printing and circulation of the alleged missing 16 billion Liberian dollars banknotes. The Monrovia City Court Monday issued a writ of arrest for the 5 immediate past and current CBL officials. According to the charge sheet, the defendants were taken to court by the government through the Ministry of Justice to answer to charges for the alleged involvement in the $16 billion saga. Our judicial reporter said Weeks, Sirleaf, and Hagba are being kept in prison until a bond is secured for their release. According to our reporter, the case is expected to be tried at one of the criminal courts at the Temple of Justice. President George Weah Sunday returned to the country after his official visit from the State of Israel. President Weah, accompanied by his entourage, received a rousing welcome from government officials, including Liberians in general, at the Rabat International Airport. Julius Compton has a report.
Flanked by his wife and members of his entourage, the Liberian leader received a traditional welcome from the guardian men and women of the armed forces of Liberia, followed by members of his cabinet. Giving an overview of his trip, President Weah termed his visit to the State of Israel as very successful.
Our meeting went well. Myself agreed to build capacity and bring this innovation to Liberia to help us grow our sector. So the trip was all very successful. You know, we know the history of the Bible. We visited sites, and we had the opportunity, you know, to visit. And I'm glad. And then we are back to put our team together to go back to Israel, so we can start working for our people.
On the issue of the 16 billion investigation, Dr. Weah said his government is transparent in fighting corruption.
We are transparent, and the only way they could believe that is to get an international group to probe into this allegedly 16 billion missing, and which of course we all know that our government was going to be vindicated. So we brought in the U.S. Embassy to help us, and today crew were able to give determination on what happens. So I hope now Liberians are all you are happy, you know, and that there's no 16 billion missing, and whatever happens now, and the findings, other findings, you know, of course, you know, when you try to get information, a lot of things come up, and all of the things that are coming up now, we hope that the process will be also transparent, and those that have done something, you know, will go through the due processes, and when everything is done, you know, I hope that Liberia will be in peace.
He recommitted his government to the promotion of peace and development of the country.
It's for all of us, and then we want to keep it peaceful. And but again, I will ask all Liberians, you know, going to the street without information is wrong. I think you should get facts before you get into what we call rioting. Because again, I want to thank the police and our security apparatus, because they have done so well. You know, they give you a human right, you know, to go to the street. But let us refrain from anyone making a statement that you can substantiate and just jump into the street. Our government is here to promote peace and to make sure that the country is developed.
The chief executive said it is about time to focus on development because the country has suffered for too long. He said going to the streets to protest without files and evidence is wrong, calling all Liberians to see Liberia as a bigger picture. Reporting for LNTV News from the Ravers International Airport, I am Julius Compton.
Thanks, Julius Compton, for that report on President Weah arrival from the State of Israel. The governments of Liberia and Israel, through bilateral relations, have secured a partnership to improve Liberia's health sector. The partnership is expected to positively affect the JFK Hospital women and children issues, as well as improve the country's response to emergency situations. Smith Tobe is the Deputy Press Secretary to President Weah. He was on the trip with the President and back in studio made the disclosure.
How Israel can help us in our health sector. I got to know during the meetings that the Israelis had the engagement here during the Ebola crisis. I didn't even know that until I heard it come out of a discussion with the President. And they've once again recommitted to come to GFK. To provide some basic health need for the people of Liberia through trying to revamp the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. They got so much interest in that health facility. They want to see the country once again attacking, you know, emergency. So out of the discussion, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Health was indeed a part of it. They will be concentrated on women and children issue, and then providing the emergency, trying to improve our response to emergency issues. So on those 2 points, the Minister of Health will set up the discussion, the technical detail of it, and then again the government of Liberia and the Israeli government, they have been committed, you know, to work in that direction. So the President was also grateful to the State of Israel.
Meanwhile, Smith Tobe also disclosed that a forum to enlighten Israeli investors on opportunities in Liberia was also high on the agenda.
Investment Commission chair, for example, there was a summit, a forum for Israel Liberia in terms of investment opportunities, where investors and companies and individuals who are desirous of coming to Liberia to invest in the country, and we have to present a case convincing the investors of Israel as to the climatic condition of Liberia, the opportunities here, and the places of interest that they can come to invest. So there was a very big forum held the president spoke at that forum once again, committing Liberia and showing the investors,
Israeli investors who were excited about coming to Liberia.
So excited. All of the investors that attended that forum had separate discussions with all of the sector ministers that attended the meeting after the official opening ceremony. And the NRC, what they did was they presented a PowerPoint a presentation at that forum, showing what we got in mining, what is there in the extractive industry, for example, what is there for us to do in education, what is there for tourism, and how can we improve our communication sector, where Minister LNTV is the head of the development communication team. So that forum brought together investors, of interest.
Smith Tobe is the Deputy Press Secretary to the Liberian President, thus George Weah. The Special Envoy and Advisor to the President, Dr. Larry Brople, says there must be consequences for past and current officials who were involved in the alleged Mason Morning report. According to Dr. Brople, he clearly believes that the President stand up and ensure that anyone caught should be prosecuted. He spoke to LNTV News in an interview.
Violators, knowingly or unknowingly, there must be consequences. The President has got to report. There has been some early implementation, some of the recommendations in terms of inviting people in for further conversation. The Minister of Justice and astute jurist is leading that process. And I think we will see a president that will stand up. Because the report says there were some bad things that were done by previous administrative people, and there were some not so good things that were done by current people. I think you will see a mix. Do I believe that President Weah has got the will to implement judiciously? I say yes. And I don't think he will disappoint. The action or inaction of the President rests with him. My task is to offer pieces of advice. Mind you, what President Weah desires is to make sure that domestically our nation is cohesive, that the rule of law is exercised.
Dr. Brople is also calling on Liberians not to politicize or make religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabinejani.
We should stop religious-izing and politicizing things that occur in our country. It's not good for us. Remember, nobody made any complaint that there were 2 people from Nimba County on the Supreme Court bench. Nobody made any complaints about that. Now, I'm not saying this to belittle the point about whether Justice Janet go or stay. I told you not to delve into that. Sure. There were 2 people from one county. And nobody said, oh, we're happy or there's something wrong with it. It's got nothing to do with religion. And we need to be above board the way that we approach matters in the country. I hope that we will see things differently, and that's why you see this change and transformation that I'm pushing for has to be a mental thing. The adjustability of our mind will shift our attitudinal disposition. And this is what we must continue to push for.
Well, in case you're just joining us, this is a reminder that you are watching LNTV News Live. 30 minutes production of the television departments here at the Liberia Broadcasting System, and I'm Amanda Yasia Saleh anchoring this morning edition of the program. We'd like to take a short break, but just before we go for our break, these are the top stories we are following this morning. Monrovia City Court sends a former bank governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor Charles Sharif, and Director of Banking Double Harbour to jail in connection with the alleged printing of excess Liberian dollars. Big boost for the Liberian government as bilateral talks with Israeli officials yields a lot of goodies in agriculture, health, and other sectors as President Weah and delegation return from Israel. Do not prioritize or make religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabini Janin, says Special Envoy and Advisor to President Weah, Larry Brockler. And away from home, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. Let's take a break to be right back. Welcome back to the program. A prominent son of Sino County, B. Jiple Yenswa, has termed as unacceptable the recent abuse of some women in Sino County by young people on grounds of traditional marriage. According to Mr. Yenswa, the act by the violent young people in the county is even a violation of the country's tradition. He spoke in an exclusive interview with LNTV News.
To condemn the situation in a stronger tone, because it's now our tradition, it's now our culture. Like I remember back in the days, if I ought a zoo, catch a witchcraft, the only thing that is done is that for the zoo to turn the witchcraft over to the traditional people, and they deal with that witchcraft, they deal with the group traditionally, meaning to give them sasewu or whatever penalty that is leveled against them by the tribal people. But not to butt naked a woman in the woman in the street. That's a complete disgrace, and a disgrace to womanhood, and disgrace to the entire county, and disgrace to the country of Liberia. That's abuse of human rights, because that alone is a clear manifestation of the issue of abusing of human dignity. So we want to condemn that. It's not good for us, and it should not be repeated. And we asking the county administration, that is the county attorney, to make sure that those involved in the process be brought to justice and be prosecuted.
Jiple Yenswa is a prominent son of Sino County. Ahead of the observance of the International Women's Day, the Transport Ministry, on the sideline of the celebration, held an event in other ministry. International Women's Day usually observed from March 1 to 8 each year. The brain behind the event is the Assistant Transport Minister for Administration and Insurance, Noah Scout.
Ministry of Transport chose to celebrate it on the 1st of March because normally we have activities from the 1st of March to the 8th. So we had our own side event today to celebrate the achievements of women around the world and to also showcase the women in transport and what they do along with the men. And we think that was a very good thing because what it has done today to them is that it has motivated them. It's made them proud of themselves. They never thought they could do this because in the planning stage of this program, a lot of them were kind of hesitant as to whether this thing will succeed, whether they will be able to even showcase themselves or be able to even explain some of the technical things we do in transport. And I think you saw the young woman from meteorology division explaining what is the effect, what is the effect it has on women, what some of the importance it has in Liberia. Those are things that a lot of people didn't think were under the Ministry of Transport. Things like meteorology, axolotl, those are things that people didn't think about. But through this program today, people got clearer understanding how they could get a driver's license. People got clearer understanding how they could get the license plates. They got clearer understanding what is eligibility certificates, who can acquire them, how it is gotten, the procedure to step by step with the customer service was explained. I mean, it was wonderful. I am so honored. I feel so blessed. I feel so great with the fact that we're able.
Assistant Transport Minister for Administration and Insurance, Noah Scott. Margibi County District No. 2 Representative Ava Jones has dedicated a newly constructed district office in Cottontree, Margibi County. Representative Jones reports the total cost of the construction to over $70,000 United States dollars. Representative Jones said the office will be used to coordinate the activities of the district through the District Development Council.
If you look at how many librarians contributed in that, you understand only manpower. Entrepreneurship, no. Capital, no. So it means that 75% of what is generated is going back to, let's say, foreign land. And we must develop this country. Out of the 4, let librarians take 3. Meaning that we should take the manpower, we should take the capital, we should take the entrepreneurship. So on this note, we want to say thank you for the level of jobs that this district has confided in you. And you've been able to construct district office, and within the appropriate time, you are able to dedicate or turn over this building. The people of district number 2 say thank you. And let me also say this and let it be clear. Because when we distributed communications to eminent and stakeholders of this district, some of them raised issues. And the issue that they raised, they wanted to see the land deed of this property.
Mikey Becounty District number 2 Representative Arthur Jones. Veteran Liberian journalist E. Blam Robinson was on Saturday laid to rest. He died at St. Joseph Catholic Hospital on February 11 after a brief illness. Julius Compton was at the funeral and back in studio. He now reports.
Tears, pain, and sober reflection characterized the funeral service of the late E. Blam Robinson. The ceremony, unlike others, was dominated by fantastic songs from the Nightingale Choir of the Trinity United Methodist Church in the borough of Newtown, especially when the deceased's favorite song was raised by the choir. As the congregation just could not hold back their tears. Reading the official gazette at the funeral service was the Deputy Director General for Media Services at the Liberia Broadcasting System, T.T. Jibro.
Honorable Ebenezer Blam Robinson, B.A., M.P.A., former Assistant Director General for News and Public Affairs, Assistant Director General for Radio, Director for Training, Executive Editor, Reporter Bureau of the System, Executive Producer, Radio Department, Coordinator, the FM Studio, Production Assistant, Radio Department, Liberia Broadcasting System, LBS respectively, Patriot, Administrator, renowned journalist, devout Christian, dedicated public servant, Republic of Liberia.
The veteran Liberian journalist was remembered for several reasons. Here now are some tributes reflecting on his life while on earth.
In a moment of distress by his passing, but again, there is unto man. So we want to encourage you to be, or to use his shared memories and moments that you have with him to enjoy all of what he has brought to this family.
We did some in quality time to spend together with an average job. Blam was indeed a friend, a brother, a hustler, died a professional journalist. He ran and he was journalism. He was one of the Polish broadcaster. He was a critical voice for his stable and secure period. He was robust, analytical, and engaging in the performance of the team. Presley decided that his death has created an indelible vacuum in the journalism community, very overwhelming and stressful. I hits the multitude extraction from the list of highly skilled legal professionals. Many of them have given us to continue to bring God's blessing upon the media community.
The funeral service and subsequent burial of the late E. Blaman Robinson was well attended, as scores of Liberians, the media and students community were in full to pay their last respect to the fallen broadcast giant. He died on February 11, 2019 at the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital after a brief illness at the age of 61. His contributions to many emerging journalists and students in the sector will forever be remembered.
All have been said. I have only come to say thank you for the time, Papa. And I ask you to be my guardian angel. As the Lord order my step, just follow me bit by bit. And I know wherever I turn, you will be there.
Reporting for LNTV News, I am Julius Compton.
And away from home now, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. The aircraft crashed shortly after taking off on Sunday. The incident happened on the remote Central Island National Park on Lake Turkana. We have a report. All right, well, that's how I would like to come to this morning presentation of LNTV News Live. News Live is a 30-minute production of the television department here at the Liberia Broadcasting System. But just before we leave you, these are the top stories we've been following this morning. Monrovia City Court assigns a former bank governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor Charles Sirleaf, and Director of Banking Double Hagba to jail in connection with the alleged printing of excess Liberian dollars. Big boost for the Liberian government as bilateral talks with Israeli officials use a lot of goodies in agriculture, health, and other sectors as a President Aware and delegation returned from Israel. Do not prioritize or make religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabine Janian, says a special envoy and advisor to the President, Dr. Larry Brockley. And away from home, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crashed in northwestern Kenya. These are the top stories we've been following this morning. On behalf of the entire team here at the Liberia Broadcasting System, my name is Amanda Yasser Saleh. Thank you so much for being with us.